Liverpool v everybody. Just come to do a quick, kind of a bit of a, somewhat of a deeper review. It won't be too long, but it's always good to watch the game a second time. Um, Maybe discover some things you haven't seen or you didn't notice or forgot to mention the first time. Almost like a movie. You watch it a second or third time, you start to see things that you didn't notice. Um, and what I want to say, I want to talk about Genie and Naby. I think both were very, very good, very, very instrumental in the game, and in more of a quiet way. You know, if you're not really watching it, um, particularly those two and what they're doing for the team, sometimes you can feel like they ghost. And the truth is, a lot of times more so Genie than Naby, in my opinion, um, does seem to fall into that category of ghosting. At the same time, I think when you really look at it, he is doing the little small things, the intangible things, the dirty work. That's who he is. That's who he is for us at least, and that's what Klopp wants him to do for us. And he does that a great. He does a great job at doing that. But Naby, I just thought was, and I read a article about it, and I think the title was Liverpool uses the cheat code, which is Naby Keita, or something to that effect. And it's a great way to put it. I think obviously Liverpool are famous for, particularly under Klopp and his staff, for paying attention deeply to data. I think all teams do. I don't know if they're unique in that way or special, but um, obviously before the game yesterday, sorry, I got my days mixed up. We lost to them twice. The tail end of last season, and then obviously in the Community Shield. And Arsenal surprisingly were pretty good, pretty successful at playing from the back. Um, so one would think what was different. I think the difference was having that just at that extra man to press. And I think Naby was incredible at that. Naby's funny because when he runs, and I've said this before, it almost feels like he's running with weights on his ankles. He has a very interesting, I'll just say, unique even um, running style. But when he was pressing, he was really, really there and just really, really at it. I think for the first goal, I believe it was the first goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the first goal where he's getting tugged down. But I think Xhaka sticks with the ball, fights for the ball. Salah gets it, takes the shot, of course, and then it bounces right back to Mane. Uh, Fortunately, and we get the goal. But I just thought Naby and Genie on second look were really, really, really important to what we were doing. Genie, of course, breaking stuff up. Him and Fabinho were just incredible in terms of physicality, knocking guys off the ball. And Craig Pawson, I think the ref's name is best ref in the league. Best ref in the league. I'm trolling a little bit, but all jokes aside, I just loved how he allowed the game to play. And I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you would think that that's the craziest thing to say because, you know, some calls didn't go your way or whatever. But I thought well, over the course of the game, I just thought that he called a really good game, and I appreciated that he didn't call every little thing. He let the teams play, and I saw the Mane foul again, or what should have been a red card for some people, and I disagree, and not because I'm a Liverpool fan, but just because when you really look at it, you saw Mane hitting his shoulder. He did go for the guy's shoulder. Yes, it was close to the collarbone and slash jaw, but it wasn't just a haul out punch a guy in the jaw. If that was the case, Tierney would have been on the ground a bit longer. There would have been something you could see where he was really suffering. Tierney more or less bounced back up after holding his face for a few minutes, seeing it was a yellow card. Then he was like, okay, well, I can go on and play. I don't see that in any of the players on our team to have that malicious intent. But I do like how physical we were with them, and I want to see more of that. You know, gone. It looks like gone are the years that we're that soft team. You know, knocking guys over, then helping them up, and but then again, I kind of like that. You beat a guy up, pick him back up, and say, "Come on, let's go for the game. It's going to be a tough one." So I just thought Mane, Fabinho, Genie, all of our players really were just really, really physical. And anytime you saw the look on Arsenal's faces, they looked very worried. They looked very spent, exhausted, tired. It's a lot of work to deal with a team who presses you up and down the pitch for basically 90 minutes. It's difficult. It's tough. It's grueling. And you really, really get to test your fitness. So I just wanted to come back and talk about Genie and Nam. I thought they were really incredible. Obviously Fabinho as well, but you know the Spray brothers in the back. I bigged up Van Dijk, rightfully so, but Gomez as well. Really showing that he can do the same thing, carbon copy pretty much of Van Dijk in terms of displaying or spraying the ball around. So I just thought it was a it brings me back to this idea of a need for creativity. And let's be real, bar Genie, even though he has a moment to do it as well, almost all of our players are creative. Let's just think. Obviously, let's go from back to front. Allison in himself could be creative, getting the ball quick, spraying the ball up. The two center backs, just spoke about them. The fullbacks, obviously. Naby has that capability. Henderson has the capability. The situation, the chance in the Chelsea game that gets us the red card or gets them down to 10 men. Um, Salah and Mane, respectfully, they can do things as well. Firmino, we already know. So, again, we have a creative team collectively, and as you can see, we still haven't really gone for that kind of play. Yes, Thiago is that. Thiago is, I think, multi-talented though. He can play the six. He can be a box to box if you need him to. He can be the facilitator kind of guy. But again, you're not seeing Klopp going for a Coutinho-like player. You just or De Bruyne type of player, in my opinion. You could say Thiago's the closest to that. We'll see how he develops in the team, but um, and back to Naby, there was moments in that game where he was playing more of a right back, at least in that area, and Trent was going a little further up. So there'll be people who will say, well, we're not seeing what we saw from Naby in Germany. Well, he's not in Germany anymore. He's under Klopp, and Klopp sees fit for him to play the role that he's playing, and I'm happy with that. There will be games where you'll see flashes of what we may have seen in those YouTube clips of Naby in Germany, but Naby's okay, Gini's okay, and I just love how our team is looking. It looks like Thiago's got COVID-19. Prayers and thoughts and well wishes go out to him and his family and during his isolation, and hope that he'll be fine. But honestly, when we get him back, we get him back. I'm not. It doesn't feel like there needs to be a rush to get it. And I love that situation. You look at all these other teams, all these signings. Chelsea, they're crying for Ziyech to be back. All the other teams, Spurs, they probably can't wait to get Gareth Bale in a uniform. So um, everything is just really clicking for us right now, and I just feel very fortunate and blessed to be supporting this team. But yeah, just needed to come back and shout out those dudes. But overall, just there wasn't any real passengers or weak links in that performance at all. I mean, everybody really played their role to a high level. And so, again, on another day, do some calls go against us? Do Arsenal take advantage of those chances? Sure. But let's not forget that Liverpool had a lot of chances as well in both halves. So I think overall, it was the result that I think was deserved for Liverpool and may continue. So look forward to the game midweek, Thursday. And then I think we have Aston Villa at the weekend. So thank you guys for continuing to look at the channel. And IMAX, I should have remembered to write your name down before I made this video. But brother, good brother who does post matches for every game. I want to say it's IMAX. I forget the exact name. I'll leave it in the comments though, the description or whatever, so you guys can check his channel out. Really been nice to communicate with him lately. So big up to yourself, man. Appreciate. I don't know where you're located, but yeah, check his channel out. And again, I'll leave it in the description so you guys will actually know what channel I'm talking about. But that's it for me now, and we'll see you guys in a couple days.